Hey there, freaks and sickos. Welcome to my campaign. I'm starting to wonder if I should make the rest of my videos like this from now on. I mean, I like it. I like that it looks more ominous. Doing everything in dark mode, apparently. You can still see me, of course. And that's mostly because I'm white. The 3 lava lamps behind me, one for each witch, you can see them better, and you can even see the goop more clearly, I think. But they also serve their secondary function better in videos, which is to be a lamp. I really like how they glow with the American flag, too. Like, it gives a really nice and unique tone to it. But there's a few problems if I keep doing things this way. I mean, I have an announcement, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the 2024 Minnesota Vikings schedule. It's also not that Metro Mutt is going to make an appearance at US Bank Stadium. That would be cool, that would be fun, but not going to happen for the time being. The flags of Minnesota are harder to spot, but I do believe you can still see at least 2 of them if you really lean in or put your phone up and have a closer look. But the rainbow flags look a little washed out. There is a way I can have this, but make it just a little better. There is an adjustable light that is very close to the laptop I'm filming this on. I mean, the laptop is most of the hardware. There's also this webcam that I have attached above it. To the left of that, I have a light that I can turn on. That's full brightness. But this is scary. And it makes me look like a vampire. It makes me look like I am a white person who is dead and alive. So, again, this one is adjustable. If I put that on the lowest setting, you can see my face, but that still doesn't look as good. There is, however, one more thing I can do, and that's to change the color temperature of the light. But in all honesty, nothing tested, nothing believed. And for this channel, I'm just gonna switch that off completely. This is dark mode. And it's a really scary, accurate reflection of where we're heading, into the tunnel, as I like to call it. If you thought this video was about the lighting, by the way, no. You'll notice that I said at the beginning of this video, like all the others, in this current iteration of the channel, welcome to my campaign. And I expect to say that for many years to come. That will be the intro for this channel, as good as forever. And that's because I am making the very early announcement that I will be running for Minnesota State Senate in District 37 in 2026. I will be running against the longest serving Republican in the Minnesota State Senate. Exactly this guy. He has seen me in person before. A few times. I know what he looks like. I have his face memorized. And I hate his guts. I know that's a very strong word, but I stand by it. It's not the kind of hatred that makes me want to do things that are very immoral. It is the kind of hatred that makes me want to do the exact opposite, knowing that he won't like it at all. To the rest of America, this guy is a nothing burger at this point, but for most of Minnesota, like, and especially in the metro, but if this guy were to run for governor, he would have his butt handed to him, whether it would be Walz or Peggy Flanagan or even Lori Swanson, even though she's never going to do that again. Warren Limmer is a vile and disgusting human being. So when I saw him at the candidate forum for the Maple Grove City Council election, I didn't talk to him. Some of the progressives I would have liked to work with if I won did. But no, I don't want to make nice with this guy at all. Warren Limmer is like Josh Provo, another guy who didn't win city council and is even more unlikable than me and spent a lot of money just to defeat me by a few hundred votes when you need more than 10,000 to win. He got second to last and I got last. I didn't really run an active campaign for city council in Maple Grove. I fully admit that. I didn't have any signs, I didn't have any volunteers, but I did have support, and I'm very sure that there were people who voted for Donald Trump and me, even though I don't like Trump at all. If you go on Reddit and search this man's name and ignore r/conservative, they despise him. They hate his guts. But he somehow still keeps winning, even though he is constantly on thin ice. Unfortunately, it wasn't as thin of the ice as we would like it to be. It's not breaking like it broke for the guy who lost to Dean Phillips, who thankfully resigned and let someone more qualified take over. Warren Limmer is a guy who only wins because he is a boomer Karen. That's it. Like, he resonates with voters in this area because he wants to keep the economy in favor of boomers and boomers only. That's not sustainable for any generation to be doing, and that's why I would like to run against him. That's why I would like to be the fresh blood that replaces this old cranky fart who, by the way, proposed the two amendments that failed in 2012, one of which would have banned gay marriage, and the second, which would have made voting more difficult for no reason at all. It would have required a photo ID to vote, And that bluff was quickly called out when an alternate proposal that also didn't pass was proposed by the DFL that would have required the photo ID to be pulled up on the back end and the face to be verified. I still think this is a good idea, but in-person voter fraud and voter fraud by mail are both insanely difficult to commit. You would have better luck affecting the outcome of an election by throwing fire in ballot boxes, and Republicans like Warren Limmer know this. The reason I feel like I would be best suited to defeat Warren Limmer is because this man attacked me. I'm a gay furry. I want this man to lose to a gay furry. Now, I'm just gonna be a bit blunt and say that I use the term gay not prescriptively. Like, I prefer men in relationships and in bed, but the idea of having a fling with the opposite sex, or even a romantic long-term relationship, isn't completely out of the question. It's just less likely than with the same sex. Like, technically, I'm pan, and I've done it with both, so people in public who are just trying to flex, you gotta understand you're flexing on the shell. I've done it with both, okay? And not just cis. I've done it with cis and trans, men and women. I call myself a gay furry because that is my default setting, something I would go with 80% of the time. But more importantly, I say that because I don't want to have a lengthy discussion explaining what pan means or have people say, oh, you have intercourse with. No, I don't. That's not funny. It never was. But you're more than welcome to try that yourself. Just remember that if it's water-based, it's going to boil and you will get burned. Have fun. And I've already made the video where I stand on the issues. The difference between the Maple Grove campaign and a run against him is going to be it will be a real campaign. And in 2025, all the things to run a full formal campaign should be in place. I want to have it all in place like very early in 2025 and then start it the next year. I know that's a very ambitious timeline, but hate of evil people is a very strong motivator, and if there's anything you like about Minnesota, Warren Limmer is not responsible for it. He has actively been fighting against it. And he's one of those politicians where he feasts off the misery of the people that like him and want to make that everyone else's problem. That's why I don't like Donald Trump. That's why I don't like Warren Limmer. And that's why I don't like the Republican Party. I'm running against Warren Limmer in 2026. My name will again be Clark Macbeth on the ballot because that is my real world name. You can't put pseudonyms and furnyms on the ballot, unfortunately. But I digress. I'm saying this as early as possible, so the information is out there. Everyone is aware of it. It can go on Wikipedia, Ballotpedia, and then I can get every form I need done in time, and that I can get as much help setting up the campaign infrastructure as soon as possible. Because it will be a formal campaign. It will involve more than just making videos on YouTube. It's gonna be um it's gonna be a pretty testy, feisty campaign. And there is a chance that Warren Limmer will resign and leave a seat open. But both him and the guy running against me would be very, very, very salty and deserve it if they lost to me, a gay furry who is very techno-literate. By announcing this early, my autistic ass is going to have more than enough time to perfect the message and start to talk to people about what I would like to do and what my vision for Minnesota, especially in this district, is. And it doesn't involve feasting off your misery. I'd rather see that go away. Like, the way I see things, Warren Limmer is the bad guy in Minnesota politics. He has to be defeated, and it has to hurt him. So, with all of that in mind, thank you all for watching this all the way to the very end. I appreciate that. And as always, subscribe if you like, and share if you care.